everybody and welcome. In today's video, I'd like to show you my favorite winter handmade pieces and how I style them, because even though I have many projects planned this winter season to sort of enhance my winter wardrobe, I have a lot of favorite pieces that I reach for time and time again in patterns and fabrics and fibers that really work for me. And so I thought I would show them to you, not only to show you how I style them, but also the colors I choose, the patterns, and then the fiber content, so that you know what will keep you warm without being too bulky or too this or that. And hopefully this will inspire your future winter projects. So for my personal wardrobe and outfits and the way I wear my clothes, context might be a little bit important. So I live in the suburbs of Paris, France, and I work in the center of the city, and so I commute mostly by foot or by public transportation, so that's important to take into account when it comes to mobility in what I wear, but also fashion and culturally what people are wearing around me and what I typically gravitate towards as a result, but also the weather. So the weather here in northern France is, in the wintertime, very gray, very humid. We don't get a lot of snow, and temperatures rarely dip below 30 degrees Fahrenheit. It usually hovers around 35 to 45 degrees Fahrenheit, and it rains all the time. Which is somewhat depressing, but something that I have to deal with quite often, along with often gusting winds, and so that's not always a pleasure. But I do have to plan for that when I dress, and so that does come into consideration when I'm putting together these outfits. So I have 7 outfits to show you today, ranging from more formal things that I wear to work versus more informal and comfortable that I wear at home, and then also the star of the winter season that I wear every day, and it is my winter coat that I wanted to show you in more detail and talk to you about. So get comfortable, grab a hot drink, and let's get started. The first outfit that I wanted to show you is something that I wear all the time in constant rotation, at least once a week during the winter season to work. And it is the Silvered Ultimate Pencil Skirt that I made in a wool fabric, paired with a black Ehola tee by the French pattern maker Coralie Bijasson, then also a Muse Patterns Jenna Cardi that I made in this double knit fabric in blue. And starting with the skirt, I absolutely love this skirt. I made this years ago, and so this one has been one of my absolute wintertime staples, and it is because it is nice and warm and very comfortable and very flattering, I find. And then also the dark gray and white graphic print lend itself really well to pairing with a lot of different colors in my wardrobe. The wool content keeps me nice and warm. It's like wearing a blanket around my legs. And then the pencil shape of this skirt is just really flattering, and I really love it. It's not the most mobile outfit that I have in the wintertime, but I mostly sit at a desk most days when I'm at work, and so I don't need maximum mobility at work, just getting to and from work. And it does have a vent in the center back seam at the hem for mobility, and I find that as long as I wear it with flat shoes, it's fine. It doesn't restrict my movement so much, and it's just so lovely. So I think it's just absolutely perfect as a skirt, and I wear it, all the time. I like pairing it with a more fitted knitted top on top, and I usually pair it with more neutral colors such as white or black or gray or dark blue. And this time I'm showing it with a black Ehola tee. So this is by French pattern maker Coralie Bijasson, and I made this last spring, and this is a cotton and elastane knit jersey fabric. It doesn't have a whole lot of elastic recovery, which is why you can see it's a little bit wavy around the neckline, but I love it. I love the balletic sort of neckline and shape to it, and it fits really well as a layering piece. I always wear it over a camisole, and I often pair it with a cardigan as well. And I just really love the neckline on this, and I think that the more knitted and form-fitting top sort of balances the chunkier skirt on the bottom. It does create a very sleek silhouette, but I do usually always pair it with a cardigan on top to sort of balance out that form-fittingness to the two pieces together. And here I'd paired it with the Jenna cardigan by Muse Patterns. This is the hip-length version with the 3/4 length sleeves and the V-neck variation, which I think is sold separately as a pack or a pattern add-on. I made it in this light blue double knit fabric from Tissu Mer. It's one of my absolute favorite fabrics that I've found recently, and I made this back in the springtime, and I've been wearing it ever since. I think that something about it lends a little bit more of a formal, boxier shape to this outfit. I think that the shoulders sort of stand out a little bit more and are a little bit more square, such as on a blazer versus a cardigan, a really soft cardigan. And so sometimes I like that to sort of balance out the very feminine, form-fitting combination of the Ehola top and ultimate pencil skirt, for example. And this fabric is just luxurious. It's soft and just really stretchy and really nice against the skin. And because it is at least half composed of viscose content in the fibers, it doesn't hold on to odors, and it does help keep warmth versus a polyester fabric. So yeah, I love this fabric. I love this combination in these three pieces together. I think that the dark gray and white in the skirt go really well with blue. And so yeah, this is something that I wear all the time and that I look forward to wearing in the wintertime every year. The second outfit is also more for work, and it is more of a new combination because I made this True Bias Blair skirt in a cool wool and a dark green color just last fall, so just a few months ago. What I like about this combination is that it is sort of neutral, soft colors. The dark green is something that I absolutely love. I love more natural colors, and bringing a little bit of nature into the wintertime is sort of nice as well. This skirt, even though it's made of a cool wool, it does keep my legs pretty warm because it's very long. And what I like about the cool wool as well, that I've noticed sort of by surprise walking around rainy Paris, is that it keeps the rain off of my legs. It's so long and it sort of works as a raincoat for my legs. It doesn't feel like it. It is very crisp and it has sort of a very crisp, sort of swishy sound when I walk in it. But yeah, it's great for rainy winter seasons. I added a lining to this version when I made it. You can see all of the details in my fall makes video. The lining makes sure that it doesn't stick to my tights. I really love the shape of this skirt. It's slim fitting, but it doesn't limit my movements too much either. And when I sit down, it's fine at the waist. It doesn't squeeze my tummy, for example, and I can always let out the belt a little bit, the cloth belt if I want to, or wear this skirt with another belt in place of the fabric belt that I made with the pattern. If ever I do need a little bit more mobility, because the skirt goes past the knees and it is very narrow at the hem, I do just unbutton a few buttons at the knees and then it's fine. And then I really love pairing it with this Eliiot sweater because I think turtlenecks are really lovely in the fall and the winter season, but I can't stand the feeling of fabric against my throat. It's something that just makes me feel very claustrophobic and just, oh, I don't like it. This cowl neck sort of turtleneck is perfect for the fall and winter to keep my neck warm without touching it or squeezing it. And I love the shape of this Eliiot sweater. It's not too tight, not too loose, not too boxy, and it's easy to tuck into high-waisted skirts and pants, and it just looks really elegant and casual at the same time, and it's comfortable depending on the fabric that you make it in, and it's just great. I love this pattern, and I am working on that second version now. I'm only changing the kind of fabric that I'm making it in, and then also I'm going to be lengthening the sleeves a few inches just so that it's past elbow length, because you can see with this version that I made years ago, with the original sleeve length, it stops before my elbows, and I think it's a little bit less flattering than a 3/4 length sleeve, and so that's what I'm modifying now, and hopefully I'll have two versions then in my wardrobe to wear, because this white one is really versatile. It matches a lot of my skirts and high-waisted pants in my wardrobe, and it's a great piece, a staple piece in my wardrobe. So the third outfit that I'd like to show you is something that I can wear on the weekends to brunch, for example, but also to work, and they're my secret pajamas at work. And it is the Sew Over It heather dress that I made in this black, gray, and white jacquard knit fabric. It's a double knit fabric, so it's pretty, not stiff, but it doesn't have a lot of give to it. This one is probably one of my favorite heather dresses. I'm wearing another one today too. This is in a cable knit polyester fabric in white, and then I'm also wearing it with this shawl. This is the Sophomore shawl by Two of Wands that I made last winter, and I'm not planning on leaving the house today, and that's why I'm wearing it as a shawl. I usually wouldn't wear out of the house like this. I'd pair this dress with a cardigan, but since I'm just cozy in here talking to you, I figured I'd wear my shawl. But the heather dress is something that I've made many times before. If you've seen my video on my ode to sweater dresses that I published, you would have seen it featured there as well. It's a pattern that's very versatile for a lot of different kinds of occasions, as in casual or also more formal occasions such as going to work. In this fabric, I find that it is the most versatile. So much like the skirt that I showed you, the Sew Over It pencil skirt that I made in the lozenge printed wool fabric, it works with a lot of pieces in my wardrobe. Whereas this one is a similar color scheme and classic print that doesn't overwhelm an outfit. I can wear this with all different kinds of colored cardigans, for example, or sweaters over top, and it just works. It's great. I like that this dress is sort of both fitted and loose. It doesn't restrict my movement in any way, but it features princess seams that makes the top half of the dress pretty fitted and very flattering at the collarbones, the shoulders, and the neckline. And then it has 3/4 length sleeves that I find very flattering. It has sort of a mini skirt length. It's a little bit longer, the original pattern. I did modify my versions quite a bit. This one I shortened a few inches, and then also I added a center back seam and took out a lot of excess fabric in the back, more in the center back, and then also along the side seams at the hips, because I found that the original pattern had a little bit too much ease in the waist and the hips for me. But yeah, this dress is something that I wear all the time. It is 100% polyester, so I do need to wash it every single time I wear it, but it does pair very, very well with lots of other colors, and it's just really comfortable to wear. So yeah, this is definitely one of my absolute favorites, even though I made it, has to be about 5 or 6 years that I've been wearing it now, and it's not leaving my closet anytime soon. The next combination is sort of a mix between a piece that I've been wearing for years and a new piece that I've created a new combination that I absolutely love wearing and that is in constant rotation this winter time, for example. And it is my Deer and Doe Givre dress in this pink, green, and black floral print hatchie knit, which is a sort of double knit fabric, and then paired with this Helen's Closet Blackwood cardigan that I made and modified a bit at the sleeves in this double knit fabric in sort of a dusky rose color. I love these two together. I think that especially the rose color complements my coloring pretty well, and so it feels flattering. It feels like it gives me more vitality in my face in the wintertime, for example. And it's super comfy because both of these are stretchy double knit fabrics. So starting with the dress, this is the Givre dress by Deer and Doe, and it's a bodycon dress, so it's pretty fitted, and I modified this one to have it in one piece. So the original pattern is 2 pieces. There's a yoke piece and then a seam across the chest, and then the dress, and so that you can pair different kinds of fabrics together. I've made this before, for example, in a navy blue and striped combination of 2 different fabrics, and it's gorgeous that way too. But this one, I didn't want to break up the pattern. I think that I have a really hard time finding floral fabrics that I love, because often I find that the flowers are a little bit too bright or too ditzy and small, and this one is just perfect. And I've sort of discovered that my favorite sort of florals and fabrics are the ones that are a little bit abstract, a little bit blurred at the edges, not super defined, not too big, not too small. And this one's just perfect, especially the colors. It's sort of a dark pink and light pink and then green on black, and it sort of softens the black background. And I love this fabric. I love these colors. And so it pairs really well with, for example, this cardigan, this Helen's Closet Blackwood cardigan in a dusky rose pink color, because it sort of matches the pink in the flowers, or it's close to the pink in the flowers. And so yeah, I really love wearing this. I think that a dusky rose is really nice in the wintertime. It pairs really well with the grays and blacks and blues that I usually wear in my wintertime wardrobe. And it's not too spring-like, it's not too bright pink or bright green, so it doesn't clash with winter colors, or at least the winter colors and the light and the surroundings in the wintertime. And this outfit is just super cozy. This dress is also, like my other dress, 100% polyester fabric, and so I do have to wash it after every use, but it's just, oh, so luxuriously comfortable. I love it. The next outfit is something that I wear on the weekends when I have outdoor activities to do and I need something that's a little bit more durable and hard wearing. For example, if I go for a walk in a park, or I want to do a little bit of work in my garden, something that will withstand the elements, and then also kneeling or, I don't know, walking around vigorously. And I love wearing my Closet Core Patterns ginger jeans. These are jeans that I made actually for my very first trip to Japan back in 2019. And I spent a lot of time fiddling with the fit so that it fit me correctly. I made the high-waisted version with the skinny leg jeans because even though they're out of fashion now, I find them really practical for example, tucking into boots, and it's just a shape that works for me pretty well. And I made it in this dark blue colorway, and this jean pattern calls for elasticated jean fabric, and so there's, I think, 5% elastane in it, and it has a bit of stretch and give to it, so these fit me like a glove. I love the way they fit, and they're not too, I mean, they're jeans, and I don't wear a lot of pants. I don't like the feeling of pants, and I wear a lot of skirts and dresses, but I find that these are really comfortable once they're on. They're a little bit hard to wiggle in and out of, but once they're on, they're not too tight, especially when I sit or I'm moving around. I mean, they're jeans, so they're still a little bit more uncomfortable than leggings or tights, for example, but they don't squeeze too much. And I think that's mostly because the fit isn't too fitted. I didn't overfit the pattern, and also it's an elasticated jean pattern. And I think that non-elastic jeans are just not for me, because my waist and my hip measurements are so different. So that's something I've learned over the years, but I'm getting off topic. So these pants I wear all year round, not just in the wintertime, but I like pairing it in the wintertime with this handmade sweater. And it is the Two of Wands Cornwall cable knit sweater that I made in the Knitting for Olive heavy merino yarn in the cloud colorway. This one took me about a year to knit, but mostly because I put it down for about 6 months while I was getting married, and I was very, very busy at the time. But yeah, it did take a long time to knit, and it is very, very warm. I think that the cable knit nature means that there are multiple layers at a time of woolen yarn, and so it's very, very warm, and it's the sort of sweater that I can't wear unless it's cold. I think that the winters here are a little bit too mild to be very, very useful, but if you're looking for a very warm sweater, then this one's one of them. And I really love wearing it, especially, yeah, when we're going for a walk or something outside where I know I'll be outside for a long time. I know it'll keep me nice and cozy warm, and so this is the combination that I wear for that kind of activity on the weekend. So the next outfit is for ultimate relaxation and staying home on the weekends. So either reading or knitting on the couch or sewing or baking. And it is the Closet Core Patterns Plateau Joggers paired with the Bella Loves Patterns Interstellar hoodie that I sometimes wear separately, sometimes wear together, but I figured I'd show you this outfit for this video because they go together very, very nicely. And I made both in this fleece-backed sweatshirting fabric in this light blue color, and this fabric was gifted to me in collaboration with Minerva Fabrics in the UK. They're a warehouse or fabric shop in the UK, and it was gifted to me for free in exchange for an article on their website about how I made these two pieces, so I will link that below if you'd like to read all of the details. But I like these two together because I think that both of them, even though they're from different pattern companies, they fit together really well, and both of them have very interesting details. So for example, the Closet Core Patterns joggers, the Plateau joggers, feature a really nice fit. It's not too baggy, not too form-fitting. The wide elastic band makes it very comfortable at the hips, and it sort of sits at the low hip, so at the hip bones rather than the waist. It has really deep, comfortable pockets that fit a lot of things inside them. And I made them with elastics at the cuffs because when I first made these, I wanted them for warm-up joggers to wear when I was doing ballet class at home. I don't do a whole lot of ballet anymore because of hip problems, but I do still really love wearing these, and I find that the cuffs sort of keep the hem from dragging or getting caught on things, and so yeah, it's still pretty practical. And I usually wear them over thermal leggings, and it's super, super cozy. Especially with the fleece backing, I washed these multiple times, and the fleece backing hasn't gotten, I don't know, all pebbly and scratchy, and so yeah, it's good fabric. And then the Interstellar hoodie I made at the same time. This one is really interesting in the construction details. I really like that the hoodie sort of drapes around the neck like a cowl. It keeps my neck nice and warm even if I don't wear it as a hoodie because I have a bigger head and then lots of hair, and so it doesn't usually fit over it. And I made it without the drawstring ties at the neck, but I really love the way it fits. It's sort of a drop shoulder. It's not too boxy, and I don't know, it's just a really comfortable fit. The only downside of the Interstellar hoodie is that the cuff, I think there are two different options, but the ones that I made doesn't feature an elastic, and they're pretty tailored. There are even darts at the cuff so that it fits the wrists pretty nicely. They're not too tight at the wrists, but it's very difficult to pull them up. And so when I'm doing dishes, for example, it's hard to keep them out of the water, which is a little bit of a shame, but otherwise this one fits really well. It's really nice to wear, and I love wearing these two together. It's ultimate relaxation. I'm thinking of maybe making another pair in sort of a light pink fabric, but that's an idea. But yeah, these two together are great. The very last outfit I'd like to show you is what I wear to bed in the wintertime, and this is a more recent pairing because these pieces I made more recently, and it is the Sew Over Luna pajama pants with Sew Over Edie tops. And I say Edie tops plural because I have many and I have plans to make many more. This combination sort of came together when last winter I made these Sew Over Luna pajama pants in a cotton flannel checkered fabric that I found in my home state of Connecticut when I was visiting friends about a year and a half ago. And not only was it an interesting and sort of challenging but easy at the same time pattern to make, because this pattern features only one seam on the legs. So there's an inseam, but there's no outer seam. It's cut in one piece each leg. And so it's easier to match up stripes or checks with this pattern. And so I wanted to make it with this flannel fabric. And then also, I didn't realize how very lovely it was to wear cotton flannel in the wintertime. I'd always thought of like a flannel shirt, for example, and it's not quite my style, but it's also really complicated to make, so I've never really taken on the challenge of making one. And to wear it as pajama pants was just something I thought might be nice, but it turns out it's the best. It's not too hot, not too cool. I usually wear them over thermal leggings just to make them extra warm because I'm always cold. I'm a summer baby, I'm almost always cold. And so yeah, I will definitely be keeping my eye out for a lot more cotton flannel fabrics like this one. I made a second one recently over the holidays in more holiday colors like red and green, but this flannel fabric is a little bit less thick, and so it doesn't keep me as warm. And so I'll have to keep my eye out for thicker cotton flannel fabrics, and maybe that's something that I can only really find in the US, because in France it's not very necessary and it's not very traditional. It's not something that people wear all the time. And so, yeah, I'll have to look for it in my travels to North America in general. Really thick cotton flannel fabrics. Oh, how lovely. And then I love pairing it with any Sew Over Edie top that I've made. So I love this pattern because it works really well with really drapey viscose jerseys. And I like looking for sort of those not too thin, but not too thick, buttery viscose fabrics that are a pain to sew or difficult to sew, but so worth it for the way it feels against your skin. And what I like about this pattern is that it's really elegant at the same time. It's not too drapey or casual, and it's something that I can wear to bed, but also out. Like I can go to the grocery store with an Edie top in a black color, for example, and it doesn't look out of place. It looks even elegant and nice. I can wear it to work depending on the color that I make it in. And I love the boat neck neckline and the 3/4 length sleeves, and just the fit is really nice. It's not too boxy, not too form-fitting. I've been making it in a rainbow of colors because I only have about 5 in my wardrobe now, and because I like to wear it not only to bed but also when I'm working from home, for example, or just hanging around the house on the weekends, I'd like to have many of them. It's such a luxury to have a nice viscose jersey against the skin, and so I'm indulging. So be prepared to see a lot more of these very soon, and I will be, trying to make more of these Luna pajamas to suit all of these different rainbow colored Edie tops. The very last piece that I'd like to show you is undisputedly the star of my winter handmade wardrobe, and it is the Bella Loves Patterns Traveler Coat that I made in this dove gray colored Melton wool and cashmere blend fabric, lined with a pearly white flannel backed satin, both that I purchased at Core Fabrics, which is a fabric shop owned and run by Closet Core Fabrics in Canada. This is the best coat that I've ever made, and it was a mammoth project. It took a lot of time to cut out and sew, but I'm so proud of it. It's the very first coat project that I've made myself that feels like a ready-to-wear coat, as in it has the structure of something that you'd buy versus something that's kind of flimsy, kind of just fun, sort of a layering piece for the spring or the fall. This keeps me nice and warm, and it has just the structure. And so I highly recommend this pattern, or Bella Loves Patterns in general, because she includes the instructions and the finishings and the attention to detail to making clothes look professional and well finished, just well balanced, and it's just so well designed. So well that I'm even working on a second coat at the moment by Bella Loves Patterns, but you'll have to stay tuned to see what I make. And yeah, I could not be happier with this coat. This is a mid-calf length double-breasted coat with drop shoulders and sort of a long V-neck closure with 2 buttons at the waist, and then a fabric waist belt. And I just remember a lot of the tailoring techniques that I learned with this coat to make sure that the lapels sat a certain way and making sure that the turn of cloth worked a certain way, and it was just fascinating to work on. It took me a long time, but yeah, it was totally worth it. And I love this fabric and the flannel back satin lining as well that I found with core fabrics. They just work together really, really well. It is 3 years old though, and it is starting to show a little bit of wear, so the outer shell fabric is doing just fine, but I've noticed in the pockets and along areas of stress, the lining fabric is starting to go a little bit threadbare. There are a few little rips and tears, and it's getting a little bit gray in places around the hems or like the edges of the sleeves, for example. And so I'm thinking I'll probably have to replace the lining soon, at least for the parts that are threadbare and ripping. And yeah, it's going to be absolutely worth it because this coat is my favorite and it keeps me nice and warm. I don't feel the cold when the temperature is even at 30 degrees Fahrenheit. I think that colder, maybe around 20, I would start to feel it, but yeah, it keeps me really warm and I just love wearing it. I highly recommend this pattern, and I know that I will be wearing this piece for many years in the future. So there you have it. Those are all of my favorite winter handmade pieces that I've worn sometimes over many years and that are staples that I reach for all the time. Let me know what your winter handmade staples are, patterns that you've made over and over again, or a certain piece that has served you well over the years. I'm always looking for inspiration for my winter wardrobe and keeping warm and stylish at the same time, so don't hesitate. I have linked all of the patterns I've discussed in the description below, so don't hesitate to go check that out. And if you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to like and subscribe so you don't miss any new videos from me. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you are all doing very well. I will see you again here with a new video very soon, and take care. Bye-bye.